Okay. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute, waiting for all our participants to pop in here. So hang in there, get your supplies ready. I just have a canvas that's just a little 10 by 10. I've got my paints here, some water, paintbrushes. Come on in. All right.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good, I'm good.
Good. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here.
I was wondering what are we doing, like medium wise? What are we using?
Acrylics,
Okay.
whatever you want. Actually, you can also use your art journal and draw with pencil crayons, whatever.
Okay. Hmm.
hmm
Too many
So
choices.
too many choices. So I have two of mine in the background here that I've done this week, just
Okay.
on small canvases.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I'll be using is that size again.
12 by 12 or 10 by 10 or
Yeah, I
something.
think it's a 10 by 10. So yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I have 10 by 10s around too, I think. What do I got lots around. I don't use canvas very much, and I had bought a whole bunch, and so I've got tons.
Oh, well, you could totally use
Let's see.
anything. Cardboard, a rock. Actually, a
Mhm.
rock would be a really great
Cool.
one. Just to have a big
Hmm.
rock on your table that says yes on it. That would be fabulous, right?
I have one in my
There
bag.
you go.
What do you think?
That would be so
That would
great.
actually look really cool, I think.
I like that idea. Hi, Kelly.
I like it.
Hi.
I
We're
like
just talking about using a rock as our palette or our canvas instead of canvas. That would be so much fun, but I don't have one handy here. That would be big enough.
I've
Not
actually
today.
got a big
Tomorrow you might go out for a walk.
Yes, but I love that. Oh gosh, I've just got brainstorm of ideas now.
here, I got another one. That one's pretty good. I
Can
like
I
that
use
one.
it? Here, pass
Sure,
it to
here you go.
me.
Actually, that's got a nice white background on it.
Oh,
And
lovely.
I've got one more.
Okay.
Big one. Oh.
So we're going to be kind of writing our intentions into it,
Oh, that's
onto it.
uh-huh.
So writing your intention, like what are you saying yes to? So we'll kind of do a little, that's a big one. We'll
That is
kind of do a little meditation first and see what comes up for you. And I pulled some cards for us. And yes, this is being recorded because some people are like, will you record it, please? I want to watch this after. And absolutely, we can do that. So just so you guys know too, I have myself pinned. So I think I have it so that I am the only one they're seeing, but just smile brightly. So here are some canvases in the background here that I have done. I did one with Whitney yesterday and I did one last week. Just getting the energy going of yes. And so, oh, you did it. Did you go with Whitney, Kelly?
Yeah, I did it on Monday. I couldn't make it last night because we had a meeting, association meeting here. So it's like I'm not painting with about 30 people around me. So
Yeah.
I did the one on Monday morning. So it was great.
Nice. Nice. Well, I missed the Monday morning one. I was busy, but I got to go in yesterday and that was great. Good. There's a lot of creatively fit coaches in there and did she have a lot of people on Monday?
Yeah, I think there was like 58.
Yeah. And
There was-
Tuesday too. I was so excited for her. There was 2 pages of people. So
Yeah, well, I kept clicking. There was three, yeah, at least three. So
yeah, that's
that
great.
was,
Yeah.
unless I had a smaller amount of people on my screens, but it was
Oh,
pretty full.
Yeah. And she's been doing this for many years now, this Extravaganza. And we just keep growing as a community. It's a great community, I tell you that much.
So I had a question while we were doing it, and I wrote all my stuff down and then I painted over top of it. And it's like, how do I remember what I said yes to? So today I actually wrote things down ahead of time and thought, okay, I'll take a picture or I'll write it on the paper beside. So
yeah. And I often use my journal. I am one that I actually, when I'm with a large group of people, I have a hard time really centering into my core. And so I do that a lot. I will do my journaling ahead of time or my meditation ahead of time. I drop in really well when I'm leading the meditation, but when somebody else is leading it, I have a hard time. So it's funny how that works. I used to be able to just follow someone else, but now it's different. So journaling for sure, having a few thoughts written down, or once you write on your canvas, sometimes I have turned it over and wrote a few notes on the back too.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, my mandalas that I have painted, I've done that with because they're all different, and I just love my mandalas. They just exude energy. And I guess it doesn't really matter because it's just our intention. We're putting it out there into the universe, and it's rippling out, and we're allowed to just let it go and be, right? So, yeah. So let's are you ready? Tell me.
I did my little mandala here last couple days, and I don't know how to use watercolor, so I don't know, I just kind of slopped it on.
Well, it looks good.
Anyway, I'm
Yeah.
going to use that as my guide to put underneath it.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
I
Yes.
think
And this is Dream Mandala time. So this is the time on that note that I often promote my Dream Mandala program for people to start to tap into get clear on their dreams and then create their dream mandala. So the dream mandala is a way of consciously manifesting your dreams, your desires. And instead of using a vision board where you're cutting and pasting things, it is all of your own intentions and symbols. And so there's quite a process to getting there, but so glad that you guys are working on that. Let's get started. Okay. So welcome everyone to Extravaganza. This is a time of expanding, a time of saying yes to you and your heart's dreams and desires, and really stepping into that bigger, higher part of you that is able to have that perspective of seeing beyond the immediate fears and worries and step into something bigger and more. So let's start with just a little focusing in meditation here. I actually have pulled 2 cards for us. I had one come, but then another one was calling very strongly. So I picked it also, and they are perfect for today. So I will use those in our meditation for you. And then I'll show them to you afterwards and see what comes up for you. So I'm going to invite you just to take a breath. And I'm excited to be here, and I'm a little nervous, and it's time to just. So close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And let's just center in, breathing in nice, long, deep breaths. And letting yourself settle into this moment. Have a little background music on. And this is actually the Lakshmi mantra songs. is to support the energy for us. So long, deep breathing, letting go of everything else that has been going on in your day. Bringing yourself right here, right now into the center. And then come back to your normal breathing pattern and just settle into this moment right here, right now in your heart. Become fully aware of your heart space. Now we are tapping into that infinite being within you. You are aligning with that beautiful soul self. And you can let yourself connect to the heart of Mother Earth and ground into the earth. And then you can let yourself expand up into the heart of the universe, reaching up. As you are grounded in, you feel safer to reach up. Stretch up into the universe, feel into the stars, feel into that infinite space. And just let yourself stretch out. We all hold our energy in. We often keep it within a 3-foot radius of ourselves, but I want you to just allow yourself to let go of those boundaries and expand. Breathe that universal, beautiful, pure light into your heart. And breathe it out through your heart and expand out. And perhaps in doing this, you become more aware of the fears that are holding you in tight. What's keeping you from fully expanding, from fully shining your light? Is it a fear of failure? A fear of putting yourself out there and that you look silly? But what if it could turn out better than you ever expected? What if you shining your light has such an amazing positive impact on others around you who are in fear right now? What if you could make that difference? What could you say more yeses to in your life if you were to let go and just imagine that you could not fail? Imagine that it could all be worth it. Imagine yourself taking that leap, jumping off the cliff and flying. Imagine that universal wings just show up and support you and guide you like a golden parachute. We each have our own beautiful, unique gifts and abilities, and each of us has different desires. And they're there for a reason. They're there for you to bring your light to this world at this time. Imagine a world where we are all shining our light so bright. There would be no room for fear, just adventure and experiences. Imagine that it's all just feedback for you so you can keep growing and expanding. There is no failure. And you bring your own unique fingerprint, blueprint, and you can create a new blueprint for your life and for this world. And that blueprint begins in the energetic layers, in the intentions of our heart. So what could we create more of? Taking a deep breath into this expanded energy. Let this fill you up. Let yourself let go. It feels so good to let go of boundaries. It feels so good to just let yourself shine. We work so hard to protect ourselves, and it's so freeing when we realize there's nothing to protect ourselves from. And so, with this feeling of being able to fly, with this feeling of freedom and expansion and yes to more, become more aware of your space here. Become aware of your chair you're sitting on. Become aware of any movements, the temperature of the air, your body. Move your body a little bit. When you're ready, come on back and open your eyes. And we're going to start by painting intentions into our canvas. So I am just going to switch my camera to my canvas here. Make sure it's set up good. Alrighty. Me too. So here's my canvas. And I left this here. I did smudge a little bit before you guys came on. So this is just a reminder for anybody that's new here. I always smudge my canvas a little bit, give it a little white sage, my space, my room, and coming into these sessions with intention of sacred space and that I am working with the universe. So these are the beautiful 2 cards that showed up for us. And they are from my new deck, Beyond Lemuria by Izzy Ivy. I'm absolutely in love with her artwork and her knowledge, and I'm taking some courses from her in a couple weeks I'm pretty excited about. So I'm getting to know her cards at a much deeper level. So here is Shine Your Light. That was the first card that came up. And I thought, oh, that is perfect. It is yes, it is all about that. And then the second card that really wanted to show up was the new blueprints, which again, as artists, as creators, we get to create the blueprints, and not only for ourselves, but for the world too. So I'm just going to set these aside and gonna get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just write down my intentions here. And I am going to, sorry, I reach across. I'm gonna grab some, I use both liquid paints now. I'm loving liquid paints. And I also use a couple different, show you here. So like just basic acrylics. Some are transparent acrylics, some are heavy body, like I have my heavy body white, golden. I use my heavy body white more sparingly because it's very expensive. And then I do have other whites that are less expensive that I use in between. I'm gonna have to grab mine. I don't have it here. So to start with, I'm just gonna take a little bit of my quinacridine red and add a little white to it, and I'm going to write my intentions here. What am I saying yes to? What are you saying yes to? And I love the ideas here of sharing. But I know we're not a huge group here right now. But if you want to share what you are saying yes to in your life, feel free to unmute and share your yeses, because oh my gosh, when we were painting with Whitney, there were so many amazing yeses, like yes to authenticity, yes to abundance, yes to freedom. What is it that you are saying yes to?
I'm saying yes to astral traveling.
Ooh,
I had 2 meditations before this one today. One was with you in the morning, and for some reason that popped in my head. And then a second one just after that with my girlfriend who's traveling to Sedona. And I imagined where she was at the moment, and I was right. I described it, but I wasn't astral traveling, but I want to, because I want to be with her in Sedona.
nice. So new experiences in that way, new.
Yes.
And it's interesting because I am also not astral traveling at the moment, but I am also looking at expanding my creativity into new directions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we can get stuck into, like for me as an artist, it's easy to stay where I'm at because it's working.
Right.
But I want to keep growing. And that is very uncomfortable for me right now. So I am working my way through it, and I'm not giving up. And I'm having a lot of dreams that are pushing me forward. And so I think that this workshops that I'm going to have with my new teacher, Izzy Ivy, is going to expand me into new directions. And that's what I'm looking at. And it's hard to be in this spot again of the learner, right? The beginner.
Yeah, I think we can't get away with stop learning. You can't.
Right?
I know. You just have to keep going, and sometimes you want a break, but the universe is saying no.
Yeah.
You need to
Well,
learn.
and this is where we find out who we are too, right? And solidify that even more. Like, who am I as a creative artist, and who have I grown into?
That is part of mine too, is expanding my business, and that I allow others to invite me in to expand my business.
Ah, nice.
I listened to our recorded, your recorded one that I missed for our class.
Mhm.
And I listened to it on my way to Nordig yesterday. And when we got to the point where you were going to meditate, I stopped along the roadside and went into the bush and meditated. And then I kept going.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome.
I bet.
It was awesome. And I had 3 larks is what I think they were, because they didn't fit into any other category that I knew. I looked them up in my dad's bird book, and they came to visit me just as I was finishing. And it was like, oh, that's cool. They were watching me and came right down, and it's like, okay.
So if you're watching the recording, Delmain is talking about our Soulfully Aligned Creative Mystic program. So my mystics are here. Yay! We've got more people coming in. Welcome. Come on in. We're just starting, and you can get the recording too for the quick little meditation we did at the beginning. But right now we are just writing down, what are we saying yes to? Yes to more of in our life. Yes to expansion. Yes to abundance. Yes to authenticity. Yes to more. What do you need more of in your life? More self-confidence. Yes, because as I go on more and more journeys of growth, it shakes up the confidence a little bit in yourself. So definitely want to have that. Self-worth, more self-love. And you can write this, or you can just do some symbols. We're going to be covering this up, so it's all good. All right. So you can use whatever colors. So this first layer that we're going to put on here is just a playful layer, playful painting. And so I'm going to throw on some of my favorite colors. And some yellows and greens. And maybe some light blues or purples. Whatever works for you. Oh, just stuck my finger in the paint. That's going to be good. I'm going to switch to a bigger brush. And this is where you get to just, ooh, I love that color. Get to just play. Seal in your intentions onto this canvas. Isn't that a great orange? Oh my gosh. So that was my cad yellow medium with my quinacridone red. And you can play with mark making. That's just like, you can create shapes or spirals. Actually, spirals are really a big thing for me lately. New journeys, spirals. You could put some circles or chevron pattern, whatever works for you. It's just play. This is the best part of these painting sessions is, oh my gosh, it's like being a kid again. You get to just jump in and play, and it is so refreshing. Because when was the last time you painted just for the fun of painting without having to produce something? This is very freeing. And this is one thing too, when I took my Creatively Fit coaching certification, it took me a long time to settle into this because I've been an artist all my life. Some people that take that coaching training have never painted before, and it's their first time and it's their first experience and they're afraid to paint. Well, I just kept making a mess, and and it was really hard for me to relax into that and let myself make a mess and say it's okay. But it's the staying aware of what you are thinking and feeling as you are painting that becomes so awakening for you. So I'm going to switch it up here with another color. Just add in. And at some point, you're going to feel yourself just kind of relax. I just did. I just took a deep breath. I was like, ah. I'm seeing a lot of triangles in mine. So I'm just kind of highlighting them. Again, remembering that we will be painting over this. Arrows, that's what they are. So all the things that you have said yes to in the past, let's think about them for a minute. All the different ways that you said yes that has led you into who you are today, that has helped you become who you are today. And just think about that for a minute. because we don't acknowledge that enough. We don't reflect on that and say, wow, yeah, I have done a lot. And in my email I sent out, I had taken some time to do that, to just kind of go back over, well, what all did I say yes to that led me down this path? And it's always amazing when you start to notice, it's like, oh my gosh, this started way back in 1996 for me, when I said yes to letting go of the life that I thought I was going to have and surrendered into listening to the universe. And I became the learner then, and as I am again now. But it was those decisions that I made that allowed me to grow into more. And it was one step at a time, right? So it's not like, okay, you have to have a big plan. You don't. The whole idea is that we get to make a decision one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 year at a time. And just follow those nudges. Follow them till they lead you to what lights up your heart, what helps you expand and get excited. And that was the one thing that I learned very, very early on, is that if I feel super excited about it, there's something there for me. So I started following that. And even when it didn't make sense, even when, it cost me extra money, I found a way. I was like, okay, universe, if this is what we're doing, then show me how I'm going to do it. I'm committed 100%. I'm in. I'm saying yes. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm not going to hold back, but our fears do hold us back. Our fears say, but what? What if? What if? What if you can't do that? There's not enough money for that. You can't do that. You're not smart enough. You don't know how to do that. How are you going to even navigate it? It's like, well, I'm going to learn one step at a time. When I wrote my book, the moment it was on my mind for a couple years, I really, really would love to write a book. I'd love to be a writer, right? That was always on my mind. I'd love to be a writer, and I know what I would write about. But I held up. Well, I don't know anybody in the writing industry. I don't know anything about publishing. I don't know anything about that. Who am I to think I could write a book and teach anybody anything? And so the moment I decided that, yes, I'm going to do this, was when I was standing in my kitchen and I just thought, well, I don't know anybody in the publishing industry, but I could figure it out. I could research it. I could learn it. I'm a smart girl. I could figure this out. And as soon as I thought that, it was like, oh my gosh, I know what I'll call the book. I know what my first chapter is going to be. And I grabbed my journal, sat down at my kitchen counter, my island, and started writing. And it all just started flowing out. Every single chapter, the topic for every chapter came out. The introduction, the first couple chapters I wrote all day until my husband came home at 5 o'clock, and it was kind of look up at the clock and go, wow, where did that time go? I was so in the flow because I opened up and I said, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to figure this out. Okay, I'm committed. Let's figure this out. And so that's when the information and the creativity was unblocked and it flowed in. And I've had so many people read that book and so many people email me and thank me and say, it's like you were reading my mind when you wrote this. Like this is exactly what I needed right now. So if I hadn't then that resource wouldn't have been out there for other people. And so we get to step into that flow when we say yes, when we go, okay, this is exciting. It gets me excited. So how am I going to do this? Maybe you've been invited on a trip somewhere and you're like, I can't do that. I can't afford that. That's way too much. But when you decide, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to figure out a way to do this, then all the ideas and the creativity come flowing in for you. You get to say yes to more in your life. Yes to more expansion. Yes to more fun. So you might have a layer of fun on your canvas. Let's see. I'm going to turn mine this way because I like my arrows that I got down here and they're moving forward for me. So moving forward to more fun and expansion. And now I'm going to paint my yes on top of all of this. Might not be totally dry, but I'm going to do a great big purple yes, because purple to me is the color of divine connection for me. It's not because of any particular reason, it just for me. Be a little wet. And you could do your yes in whatever way works for you. But it is your reminder that you are going to keep moving forward. Oh, I love that. That's cool. And this timing is perfect because the way of moving forward and saying yes is like being unstoppable. And we have the Unstoppable Dream Women's Circles happening the end of no, they're starting in October now. We didn't have quite enough people to start in September, so we're starting in October. But I'm offering, because I had set aside the time for these women's circles on Wednesday nights, I'm offering some free open circles through September 20th and the 27th. Will be free open circles for the Unstoppable Dream Women in Recovery or Women's Recovery Circles. So if you want to come to that, you can. Because we are unstoppable. So there is such an energy in these paintings. When we paint them, we are putting our intentions in. Oops. I'd have to let mine dry a little bit. And this is creating an energy that exudes out. And you will feel this as this hangs in your space. This becomes so important to you. And it's better than any other artwork that you have in your home. It's like this, no, that painting has to stay up because it means so much to me. You know, it's the one where I decided I was moving forward. I decided I was going to do this. And you get to hang this up. And every time you look at it, it's like, yes, okay, I remember what I'm doing. And this is kind of like we were talking about just before we started here about using a rock, right? Using a rock to paint on, and having these rocks all over your house that have words of intention on them. I was totally like, I could see us painting, not just yes, but how about gratitude? We were talking about gratitude last week and the energy of gratitude, and that the energy of gratitude is that deep, soulful, like, I am so grateful, right? That I have created this in my life, or that I am so grateful that I have overcome that struggle, that underworld journey, and I am beyond it now. And I am more creating my life intentionally than I ever used to before. When you think about the things that you have overcome in your life, when I think back to my bankruptcy and the struggle that was, the emotional struggle, the emotional humiliation, right? The pain of not having any money and trying to feed my kids, right? The fear of the phone ringing and how that made me feel. I can look back at that, and I don't have to go back into that like, oh my God, that was so terrible. But I can remember what that felt like and feel so grateful right now that what I've created in my life is so much better than what it was. And I've moved beyond that. And this is good. And so if I sit down and really think about that, it can almost bring me to tears, that I am so grateful for the flow of money that I've brought into my life at this time. I am so grateful for the home I live in, you know, so grateful for the hot water that comes out for my shower in the morning, especially after when your electricity goes out in a winter storm and you don't have hot water or heat for a day. The next day it's like, oh, I'm so grateful for this. That's the energy of gratitude. So it's like painting that, yes, that energy, you got to put that behind it. Like, yes, this is for me. Yes, I'm going to do this. Damn it, this is my life. I'm going to create it. I'm going to move forward and do what it is my heart is calling me to do. And so when we put that kind of energy into our paintings, oh, they are powerful. So, that's what this yes holds. It's time. The time is now for us to move forward, to step into our power, feel that empowerment, and say yes to that. Like, now is the time. No more waiting. No more waiting for someone to save me. No more waiting for the right time. It is now. And so what's what's my next right step as I move forward? What's the next thing I'm going to do to help me go there? To take me to this beautiful land of yes. Of bright, vibrant colors. And maybe for you, it just means taking something off your plate. Maybe it means lightening the load a little bit. Or maybe it means a new adventure, a new course, a new program, a new learning experience. Maybe it means letting go of certain relationships that bring you down. Now is the time to do that because we are in the perfect energy, especially with this new moon coming up. We are in the energy of cleaning out the old, getting rid of what's not serving you anymore, clearing the plate, cleansing it, and moving into the new. And when you shift your energy, everything begins to shift around you. When you make the decision that this is for me, I'm going to do this, everything shifts. How many experiences have you had like that? You just decided, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is not for me. I'm done with this. I gave this up. And so think about what you are saying yes to and really bring that in. And my yes, my S looks like a snake. I might just enhance that a little bit. Transformation. Snakes are transformational. Energy. Whew. There he is. My other yes painting, my Y looked like a boomerang. And we were talking about the story of like when you send out this desire, your desire of what you want to create in your heart is like, this is not my story. This was, I don't know, somebody else talked about it. I don't know if it was in Chicken Soup for the Soul or whatever, but that boomerang, you are up on the top of a building, you go way up to the top and you send that boomerang out to bring back all of your desires of what you want to manifest, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and you're like, okay, where is it? Why isn't it coming yet? And you're still waiting and you're like, okay, I'm going to wait a little longer. And you keep waiting and it's not coming and it's not coming. And you just, well, I don't know, maybe I should go down a floor and see if it came back down there or something. And you keep going down the floors and you're eventually down on the ground floor because you've kind of given up on it coming. And when it does return, you're not up there on the top floor anymore. It's about keeping your energy high and staying with it, staying with the belief that, you know what, if I put it out there, it's coming back. It is coming. I don't know when, but it's coming. And believing in your creations and trusting that they're going to come in the perfect time, perfect divine order. And you just keep preparing for it. Keep preparing your energy for it. And every time I feel like, oh, I've been waiting so long, I check my position. Am I in resonance with it? Is it gonna arrive? When it arrives, am I ready for it? Am I in the right resonance to receive it? Am I on the right floor? And so we keep remembering to shift and come back. And you can keep adding to your yes painting. You could add in other symbols that feel important to you right now. You can add in any like I love adding in stencils of sacred geometry, because we know, like Metatron's cube is the foundation of anything that manifests. This is the quantum energy. Where it begins is the Metatron's cube. That is the symbol that we actually use in the Unstoppable Dream women's circles. This is the framework that we dive into and learn more about in our circle. I have some gold flecks I'm going to put into my painting. So you can add texture, you can add extra patterns, but I'm going to take some of this gold flecks and put it into my into my snake. Become the pattern on my snake. Yes, to abundance. More gold. That would be awesome. We want the money and the gold so that we can continue moving forward in our life and expanding. And oh no, like if with money comes into my life, it expands and I do good things with it. So we are actually moving into a time where getting money is going to be much easier for us because we have things to do here. it's not about, oops, we'll put some gold there too. It's not about living to survive anymore. It's so much more. There's so much more going on, so much more that we need to create. And we need to feel safe and secure in order to do that. So it's okay to be calling in the money and the abundance so that you can move forward in your adventures. What if you're supposed to be in Bali next year for some significant purpose? You think it's for you, and maybe it's something that you say to somebody else in Bali that changes their life. Well, how are you going to get there if you don't have the money to get there, right? So getting the money is important for us to keep moving forward, especially as women who have a purpose in this world to continue to create and help shift our world into the next beautiful dimension that we are moving into. Oh, I love my snug with the gold. Cool. All right, I'm just going to add some gold paint into my, around my yes here. Let's see here. So this playtime is so important for us. We just don't do enough of this playfulness as adults. We've forgotten how to create with our imaginations, how to just let ourselves have fun creating. And that limits our world if we can't play. You know what I do remember hearing once about, and Disney knows how important play is, because I was talking with a friend of mine who was saying that when they filmed Frozen, the cartoon, the kids' Disney show Frozen, I guess all of the creatives that were actually in charge of making the characters and the story and everything, they went to, I can remember, I think it was Switzerland. They went to Switzerland and they played in the snow in Switzerland. They just went outside and started to play and have snowball fights and slide down hills. Like, can you imagine that's your job? Go play in the snow? But that playfulness added to so much in the story of, you know, the snowballs and the snowflakes and the designs. And I think that's where they came up with, you know, all that, all the patterns, the beautiful patterns in the clothing and in the background, in the set design. And so that playfulness leads to more creativity, more ideas. And that's what we're doing here, is playing. Okay, so I'm going to, in a minute, I'm going to take myself off. I've got myself pinned right now. I'm going to take the pin off and let you guys hold up your beautiful yeses or what you have done so far. If you will, if you want to share so we can see. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me take my pin off here. Remove pin. There we are. Yes. Oh, that looks great. That white really stands out. Awesome. Oh, are those bumblebees or flowers? No, looks like a bumblebee on yours, Kelly, at the top left. Is it? I can't see. Nope. That's funny. I'm gonna
The intention, like, you mean up here, or right there? That one?
that one, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's if you look, it's part of a lotus flower.
Oh, yeah, okay. Now I can see it better.
They're all over.
Oh, I love the lotus flower rising up through
Yeah,
the muck.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of mucky around here these days, so.
Well, hello, Elaine. No worries. Oh, no worries. Your computer's having issues. Yeah. And my camera gets glitchy here too. So I apologize if it was jumping. Well, thank you guys for coming and painting yes with me. Keep painting yes. And anytime, like, spread it out. Spread it out. Oh, that is so sweet. Is that yours too?
Yeah, I did a little one because the other one was too wet to work in.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. I don't know.
They're
So
true
just
creative. Multiple paintings on the go. I love it.
it's just kind of whimsy and okay, we're playing. You said we're playing.
We are playing whimsy, magical. Yes, all of that. Right. And we set the tone with our two cards from the beginning here, the Shine Your Light and Blueprints. And that is very whimsy and magical in there too. So go out and paint more yeses, paint words of intention. I think I'm going to be coming in and doing more free open studio stuff on just this, like just painting words of intentions. I love this idea. And if you have a friend that needs a pick me up, then paint yes with them or paint a word of intention with them or share this with them. And if you are interested, I will be sharing that link. I'll be doing two things: sharing the link for the Unstoppable Dream Women's Circle that's starting up. So the two free nights are going to be September 20th and the 27th. And also I will be sharing my affiliate link for Whitney's Creatively Fit Coaching. So for those of you that are on here later watching the replay, thank you for coming. And thank you, Kelly, Dalmain, and Elaine for painting with me. And my phone is talking to me. Okay. You guys have a great day, and I will see you soon on the web.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Thanks.